Hey guys, and welcome back to Hummingbird Acres. We started our weekend off by helping some friends stack some firewood. I was so proud of these kiddos. They did a great job stacking and they stuck it out for all four cords. One of the things that we did over the weekend was get a new trailer. A friend hooked us up and we got a trailer. It needs some work. It is brand new, but it was damaged. So we are going to get this fixed up. I went and got the new tag for it this morning. My dad and I are trying to figure out I don't like this open space here. So we are working on how can we close that in, even if it's just a temporary close in, but close it in so that stuff doesn't fly out. And then we need to do something up here on the front, which is, so you see the pallets there. And then my dad ran back to Tractor Supply and he's going to pimp this out. This is his thing. You know, he loves his cars and his trailers. This is, I think, our third trailer. So, you can see our dump trailer over there. So we're going to pimp this out so that we can take it this weekend to Virginia and get it all loaded up and ready to go. It does have damage on the other side. Let's see if I can show it to you guys. You can kind of tell when you look at it. I don't even know if you can tell on camera, but this tire, yeah, you can tell if I do it like that. This tire is not straight. It's not, the axle's not bent. There's like a plate in there that's bent. We have an idea of how to fix it. But it's going to wait until another day. But yeah, we got a trailer. So able to haul a whole bunch of stuff down to the homestead. All right. So I remembered that we had this extra long pallet back in the back behind our compost bin. We had gotten this. I'm not sure when we got this. Something was delivered on it. Maybe the fencing for the pool a couple years ago, but it was it's a pallet, but it's like solid, like it's boards all the way across. There's like no holes. And my dad and I looked at it and we measured it and it would fit perfectly in the trailer if we cut it in half. So cut it in half and then do one on each side. It's almost 13 feet long, which is the trailer is about 13 feet long. And then this would actually raise the sides maybe like 6 or 8 inches above what's already there. And the pallet is still in really good shape. So that's what we were going to do. We moved it out because it was behind the compost bin. And then my dad is cutting it in half. It's not a perfect cut in half because he's just using the Sawzall. That's what he got out. But it worked out really well when we cut it in half. So as you can see, that the sides worked out perfectly. And then for the front, we decided to do pallets. I think we had to cut one, I don't remember. But then we just used pipe straps to hold it on to the bars. So that was a really good tip. Making sourdough again this week, like normal. A tip for you guys, if you don't want to have to use a new jar every single time you do your sourdough, measure how much your jar weighs before you fill it with sourdough. Write that on the bottom of the jar, and then you'll always have a reference point to know how much starter is actually in your jar. A little tip for you if you bake all the time and don't want to have to clean the jars. I think this week I am making dinner rolls for a friend who asked for them for Thanksgiving. And then I am also making bread, just our sandwich bread for the week. So nothing extravagant this week for our sourdough, but still baking something. I did put this sourdough in the fridge before we left. I think I fed it on Wednesday night and I put it right in the fridge. And then I took it out on Friday and packed it in the cooler to go down to Virginia. That way I didn't have to remember to feed it while I was also trying to pack. And then when we got down to Virginia, it was ready to just discard and use to bake all of our yummy Thanksgiving goodies. Sourdough is a great skill to learn, especially in the winter when the garden is sleeping and it might be too cold to get outside. It is a great skill to learn. We have definitely enjoyed our sourdough starter and all of the yummy things that we bake with it. But sourdough was not easy when I first started. When I first started, I think I killed my first 2 sourdough starters. And it was just kind of depressing and sad because everybody else was getting it and I wasn't. But when I finally figured it out, it was game changer. So I want to share with you guys my way on how to start a sourdough starter. I have a whole guide on it. It's called the From Scratch Sourdough Starter. I will leave a link for that below for you, but it is a great skill to learn, especially in the winter. And there are so many yummy recipes that you can use sourdough for. And it's not just for baking. Like, there's other things that you can use sourdough for as well. So if you want to check that guide out, I have left a link below for you. I may or may not have shaped these a little late. It's like 9:20 right now, and they still are not quite ready. I might just bake them because I'm exhausted and want to go to bed. And then I know that come morning, they'll just be too big. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to bake them. Yes, we are planning on leaving this week, so loading up that trailer was a priority at the end of the week. And I gotta say, I loved having it. I was able to take down everything that I needed and then some, so it was perfect. And the kids were such big helps getting this loaded, and Jamie was super excited to have all of this stuff. We are getting ready to go away for Thanksgiving, which means we have to pack. And we pack quite often when we travel, you guys know, probably about once a month. So packing is nothing new to us. But even for me, packing and traveling all the time, packing for 4 kids and 2 adults and dogs is a lot, and it can be very overwhelming. So one thing that we started doing is I created these checklists for the kids, and they each get a checklist, and then they can come up to their room and they make their piles. And then when I have a minute, I'll come up and I will just check the pile. So like this is all Henley's. And then I started Marisol's. She needed more laundry done. That's another tip I have, is that do all the laundry first and make them put all the laundry away. And then they can find everything they need a lot quicker and a lot easier. So that is a packing tip for you. If you guys pack and camp like we do, there's a tip. And then if the camper's here, we just put this right in the camper. I think the girls are going to go in duffel bags, and the boys I put in a Rubbermaid container. One last task before we head out for Virginia. I needed to finish up those dinner rolls for a friend who was having them for Thanksgiving. If you want this dinner roll recipe, it is super, super yummy. I will leave a link below for you. It is our sourdough dinner roll recipe. They always come out so good and so yummy. I can't tell you how many times I've made this, but so good and so, so yummy. We made it to Virginia kind of late at night. We only had 1 or 2 problems with the car on the way down. Nothing too extravagant, but we did make it down late, and it is now the next morning, and the first job on our list is getting this camper moved. So Jamie is staying in Virginia for the winter, and the current spot for the camper, the septic system does not drain very well. It actually doesn't drain at all in the current spot. So in order for him to stay down there for winter and to be able to function and use everything properly, we have got to move the camper. So my dad came out for the day because in order to move our camper, he had to move his camper. So first thing up is moving our camper, and we didn't bring the truck with us. So we are moving the camper with the tractor. This was definitely nerve-wracking for Jamie and I. I mean, it's a decent sized tractor, but it's also a very decent sized camper. So our plan for moving this camper is to back it up so that he can use the driveway all the way around the barn. So back the camper out of the current spot and then use the driveway around the barn to move the camper. Once he got all the way around the barn and my dad moved his camper forward a little bit, we were able to pull our camper into what we are calling its temporary permanent spot. This is where it's going to overwinter. This is probably where it most likely will stay all next year. Stay tuned for that. We have some big decisions to make here soon about the camper and what we're doing and all of that fun stuff. So stay tuned for that. But we moved it closer to the septic system. Yes, it is farther away from the water and it's farther away from the power, but we are closer to the septic system and we are hoping that it will drain. We can clean the black tank out a lot easier and a lot quicker. So that is our goal with moving it. I did buy an extra long power cord for this so that we can connect from the power panel that we did to the camper. I think I did 100-foot extra of cord. And then water-wise, we have plenty of hose. And because it's becoming winter, what Jamie has been doing is filling the water tank on the camper. And then from there, once the tank is full, he just uses the tank for water. And then when the tank is empty, he refills it. This has actually been really helpful for him when it comes to it getting really cold. So that I think is his plan for the winter until we can get the water lines run and the septic lines run for more permanent camping spots. But okay, I'm going to leave you guys right here with this vlog. It's getting kind of long, but you've got to check out our next video because I am going to show you the view from the camper. I have been looking forward to sitting in this spot, drinking my coffee and staring at my view for over 2 years, ever since we bought this property. So make sure you check out that video. It will come out next. If you are not following us, make sure you follow us and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when that video comes out. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us at the farmhouse today, and we will talk to you soon.